It's a wet and blowy rainbow lake, and I suppose I can't expect too much. It is February, but it's not too cold. We've had pretty nice conditions leading up to this, sunny weather and at 17 degrees, but now we're here, it's blowing a hoolie, it's getting a bit colder and there's lots of rain, so it's not ideal, but who knows, it's rainbows, there's some pigfish out there somewhere. Just one or two would do nicely. Well, there we are. That's the famous island swim at Rainbow. And we've got 2 lovely weeks on there. I'm with Mark Gooey Gooch, who's, funny enough, I fished with him on my very first ever trip down here when I was with Paul Hunt. And Gooey was on that trip and we stayed in touch ever since. And now I'm fishing with him on there, so that'd be nice. And the island's probably a lot smaller than what most people think. It's actually very tiny, and there's just about room for the 3 bivvies on there. I've got my 2-man tighten up, and Gooey's got his bivvy, and in between we've got the big D double top wedged in there, and that's our social bivvy. So yeah, it's quite cosy, it's quite tight, but it is a good swim. One of the most consistent on the lake, really, which is not surprising. You know, it's nice and central. And well, there's loads of options. There's loads of bars and gullies, bays, channels, all sorts out there. You could fish 100 rods out there. So, but we've got it for 2 weeks in February. It's nice and sunny at the moment, and the fish are about. It's a bit of a blowy day, and they've forecast 40-mile-an-hour gusts today, but it's southwesterlies and it's a bit cloudy, so it's good carp weather. And we got off the mark as well. Now a couple of days, we've got here Saturday afternoon, got the rods out, and it's Monday morning now, so 2 days this one had been out. One of my old homemade hook baits over some of the stabilised key and the coconut cream, and it did the job anyway. But a lovely start. 55 pound common, which is absolutely gorgeous. A bit bigger than what I thought he was going to be. As I netted him, he looks about sort of high 30, mid 40, as usual. He's going to start bashing me up now, but I'll try and hold him up for you to have a look at. Come on. I mean, it's perfect February conditions, really. It's been high pressure for quite a while, and it's only since we arrived that the pressure's gone down and the clouds arrived, and the fish are feeding, which is handy. And as usual, they're a bit camera shy. There we go, off the mark anyway. What a cracking fish. I literally just put a pike back, and it's funny that a few times we noticed that the pike and the carp seem to feed together, and like I say, just put the pike back and off the carp rod went. we go, £55 a common. Great start, and still got the best part of 2 weeks to go. So it's looking good. Nice one though, isn't he?
Yep, happy days.
How big was he?
47. Lovely little fish, good fight as usual. On the Nashi boilies again, Steve. Ooh. Doing the business. Happy days.
Lovely stuff.
Super duper. Let's get open, shall we? Looking good. Excellent. Cool. Happy man. That's the start.
Well, it's been a proper blowy day today. A sort of wind blew in, blowing southwesterly all the way, turning round westerly, then northerly. It was horrible really, but it's just about blown itself out and it looks absolutely lovely out there now. And at last a chance to look at sort of where I'm fishing, I suppose. I basically really got me rods in a line from right to left across the swim, and that first one there you can see by the pole marker. Got one, it's just on a little plateau behind that, an 11 foot, and I've stuck with that one. Not had a bite off that, but stuck with it anyway. And well, I don't mind, it looks a good feature, and sometimes those ones that only go off once in a session produce the biggest fish, so I don't mind, as long as I've got other rods working, don't mind leaving one on a spot. And as we come round, got the yellow marker out there, that's just on its own, that's an easy enough spot to find. It's on a well, basically a 10 foot ledge. It comes up to 7 foot there and then drops down to 10 foot after it, so I've got the line just draped over the 7 foot into the 10 foot, and that's where that one's fishing. And then if we come round, where are we? Yeah, just beyond the green stick there, you might just be able to see it. It's not easy to see. Got another marker out behind that, and my bottle's just visible just to the left of the green stick there. And that's on a plateau. There's a big plateau. It comes out of 20 foot up to 12 foot, and then you've got a big level 12 foot bit. And it's always a good spot. Always seems to be a good spot. And so that's one rod that I'm leaving there as well. And then really just to the right of that, one that I've been moving around, but at the moment I've got it at the mouth of the channel. You can't see it from here, but right over in the corner of the swim there's a channel that goes round through to 16. It's quite a wide channel, and it's obviously a moving route for the fish. And I've not fished it much. It's the longest range spot in the swim, and I tend to fish closer ranges if possible, and I've normally caught at closer ranges. But it seems like it's worth a go. The rod that's out there now hasn't produced anything anywhere else, so it's right out in the mouth of that channel that goes through to 16. Whew. Well, we were just saying it looked good for a bite, and one's gone off. Oh, the line's caught on a bar here somewhere, which is always one of the problems with rainbow. Yeah. So, bottle's out there going bananas. And I'm snagged here somewhere. Fish is going mad out there. There we go. Right. And carry on. Well, these rods have been out there all week doing nothing, and at last one's gone off. I've seen fish showing out here all the time, but for some reason we just haven't been able to get a bite until now. Yeah, it's not a big one, but not worried about that. Lovely. There we go. Not a big one, but it's a rainbow carp. I don't think I'm going to take him back. He's only a little one, £20 or something. He still wants to give it some. So I think I'm just going to unhook him here and let him go. But thank you very much, Mr. Carp. You're very welcome. Right, we get the rod back out after that fish. Very welcome. Not a big one, 20-25 pound. But this is about the spot it came from. About where that little fish is there. See, it drops down to about 10 foot behind this hump. But on top it's about 7 foot. But I'm not dropping it in the 7 foot, I'm dropping it over the back of the hump in about the 9 foot. So I'll just go down to sort of where it drops off, which is about there. So yeah, that 9 foot just coming up the 10, that's lovely. Yeah, there we go. So, bottle rig as per usual, big lead. Fairly crude rig, but strong and safe. When you hook one, you know you're going to land it on that rig, that's the main thing. Right. There we go. See, rock hard down there it is. Donk. So I'll just come back a little bit. Just want to get it right at the bottom of the slope so that the line actually runs up the side of the slope. So yeah, see, it's a few feet back from where I was. It just starts to come up there. So I'll just donk it back to there. Lovely. Yeah, no, I like it. Right, boilies. I've got a mixture of boilies. Coconut cream, tangerine dream, and some of the stabilised key. And it's mainly, well, a splash of colour. I quite like the idea of having different colours. You know, it's February, so I'm trying to grab their attention. And also different flavours and textures and everything else. You know, you've got the quality of the culture key and you know, the nice fruity flavour of the tangerine and the coconut. which is just an all-time great winter bait. So there we go. I'm spreading a few around the area just to try and entice something in. We've seen fish showing around these sort of areas since we've been here, but for some reason until now we just haven't been getting the takes. Oh, a little bit of hemp as per usual. But it's strange, the takes haven't been coming at any particular time. It's more when conditions look right for it. And yesterday it was a horrible day, wind and rain all day, and in the evening it looked just right, and sure enough it went off, but I lost that one. And today it's been windy and a bit wet again, and then all of a sudden it just, as you can see now, it's flat calm, not too cold, the wind and the rain have stopped, and we both, Guy and I both said, looks good for a bite now. Sure enough, it went off. So there we go. Conditions rather than times at the moment are dictating it. Well, I don't know if you can hear this or not, but confined to the bivvy at the moment. That's about it. It's rained all night, absolutely chucked it down. Had to go out and bail the boat out. That was full up with water, the boat. It's the most rain we've had. And forecast says we got this for another 2 days after today, so 3 days and 3 nights of solid rain. I mean, the problem is that I've always found the fish don't like it. They just don't like this weather. They don't feed very well in consistent rain. It's alright if you get showers or storms or whatever, or you get breaks in between it, but when it just rains and rains and rains, nothing happens. So just got to sit through it really. And you know, it's one of the problems with session fishing. You know, it's all very well people saying, oh, you know, it's nice being there for a long time, things like that. Well, it is when you're catching, but of course when it's tough like this, you've just got to sit through it. There's not much I can do. There's always a chance of a bonus fish, I suppose. You know, it could go off out of the blue, but chances are it's really not going to. And well, it's Friday now, so probably got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe with a chance, but really I'm looking at Monday is the next realistic chance to catch him, when hopefully there's going to be a bit of sun. It's due to cool down. That's the only downside of the sun coming, but you know, I'll be pleased to see a bit of sun. I don't mind a bit of frost in the morning, as long as we see a bit of blue sky and a bit of sun. At the moment, that's a long way off. Well, it looks lovely now, fish boshing out there. It was a hell of a night. Real big storm blew through here at 2 o'clock in the morning. The Titan stood up to it, but social bivvy didn't. It's been blown everywhere. And Carp's been chewing through the bottom of it trying to get to the boilies. So it looks a bit of a mess. We'll have to sort all this out. But the great thing is the sun's coming up and it looks lovely out there. Oh, there it is, at last, a bit of sunshine. Pleased to see that. We've had loads of rain, loads of it, and wind. And it's all calmed down now and the sun's coming up. Should be a nice day. be a bite then. At last, we've been a few days without a bite now. Last one's gone off. Oh, he's right down there. Try again. Yeah. Well, that's a performance and a half, but getting there, I think. Not a big one, I don't think, but they're all welcome. No, it's probably not a small one. been a few days without a bite now. We've had loads of rain, loads of wind, and it's like the whole lake seemed to switch off. No one's really been catching. We knew we needed a change of weather. Thankfully this morning we got it. It's still blowing a hoolie out there, quite strong, but the sun's come out, and it did look good for a bite, and sure enough, off it's gone with this one. It was a bit of a performance out there in the boat. Line got snagged on the bar, but I literally had to pick the line up the other side of the snag and cut it and rejoin it, but thankfully this little fella held on, and end result was a £46 mirror, so well happy with that. Right through the back of all that woodwork, and the other side that's Swim 11 and Paul Hudson. Good angler on here, very good angler. He's been fishing with John Lilly. John's gone home today, but Paul's there. He's been doing well. He's had a 51 today, and it's been fairly consistent. It's been quite the last few days, like it has been for everyone else on the lake, but you know, he's doing as well, probably better than anyone on the lake, which is nothing unusual. There we go, that's Swim 11 tucked through there. Nice swim actually, but with the water that's been coming in with all the rain, he's not got much left of his swim over there. So, not got much of a swim, but he's fishing it well. Well, there we go. It's been a blowy old trip. No more fish on the lake. It was a great trip, but slow second week. Here we are, ready to get on the ferry and get back to England. Driven like a lunatic up the motorway. Got on an hour earlier, thankfully, but there's another trip around the lake. Oh, and it's blowing a hoolie. Little ferry's right down the end there. Any minute now we'll be loading to go home. There we go. See you next time. Yeah.